To get more on this Greek crisis, we're joined by Sfakianakis from Banque Saudi Fransi, where he is chief economist. Coming out making these remarks, saying at the moment the latest headline, Greece needs to borrow rates which are normal. That's key for them, isn't it, here? What sort of mess are they in right now?
Well, I mean, they have to keep on receiving a lot of money in order to finance the debt and roll over a lot of the debt that they have accumulated.
10 billion euros
right.
Coming up soon.
So they need to be able to roll over, and they need to be paying a lower price compared to what they have been doing over the past few weeks. And if, let's say, the price of the debt is higher than what you get now and continues to go up, then that will be a challenge for Greece.
John, where do we go with this next? I mean, what do they go to the IMF, or do we get backing tacitly behind the scenes from the likes of the Germanys and Frances of this world?
Well, if the European Union wants to have one voice, and they need to demonstrate that in a cast iron way, then definitely they need to be able to come up with a series of measures to support Greece, whether it's the EMF, the European Monetary Fund, or other measures. I don't think that the European Union has a solution. They cannot say that they're a Eurozone area without having one voice, and right now we have many voices. The solution for the IMF is, or resorting to the IMF by the Greeks is not a solution. This is not good for Europe. If Europe wants to have one voice and they want to have a strong currency, they need to be able to support Greece, and this is an important precedent. Now, take in mind, of course, that Germany has domestic issues and politics, and they cannot go out and bail out Greece, because Greece, I agree, as Papandreou said, has definitely structural problems: corruption, lack of competitiveness, a huge public sector that remains idle. So they need to fix these issues. But they have taken important steps, and we have to recognize that.
Are they going far enough, do you think?
I think they have gone far enough so far for what they have been required. Now we have to wait and see if the budget deficit is being tackled. Definitely Greece is going to go through a deep recession. They're not going to get out of this. And they need to be able to show resolve, but they need to also fight the social unrest and social discontent that is building up in Greece. But they have taken the right measures.
John, if we look at the more esoteric level, you've got monetary union. Should there be fiscal union for things like this not to happen again?
Well, they need to create a fund. You know, the European Union has not had the ability to address issues of this sort, whereas the IMF does. It is really
So you're
capable.
in favor of an EMF, as
Absolutely.
it were?
Because if Greece has problems today, what happens tomorrow for the other countries? Not now, but maybe in 5 or 10 years. And if, again, the Eurozone has one voice, they need to be able to show that. So definitely I'm all for an EMF.
Okay, but how would it work in practice?
Well, first of all, they have to decide that this is going to be the case. And this is an issue, because if you have Trichet on one hand and Merkel on the other, and through different voices within Merkel you have an IMF road package, then that is not the alternative. But they can. You know, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development was built in order to support the East European countries. They can do the same to support the Eurozone countries.
Right. Let's just talk a little bit about the tensions on the European single currency, the euro itself on this. Some have said that the only way that Greece can solve its problems is if it withdraws from it. But there's no mechanism to do that, is there?
Correct, because this is the first time we're seeing such a crisis that is impacting the euro within. If Greece decides to leave and exit the eurozone, it will be a stupid step. So I think you should forget that. I think that everybody should forget, including the Greeks. There are elements within Greece that from time to time say this, but this is not an option, because then if they resort to the drachma, then you should be forgetting the Greek economy for a very long time, much longer than if it were to be in the eurozone and try to adjust itself. So I don't think there is an option of exiting for Greece.
John, thanks so much for coming in.